Today's video, we're going to do a reading for your root chakra, your sacral chakra, and your solar plexus chakra. Hey guys, it's Francisca. Welcome. This is the second video in a three-part series for using tarot spreads to balance your chakras. And in today's video, we're going to do a reading for your root chakra, your sacral chakra, and your solar plexus chakra. If you want to get a reading on your heart chakra, your throat chakra, your third eye, or crown chakra, then you want to see the third video in this series. And if you want to take a deeper dive into the chakras and do some breath work to get this energy and move it out of your body, then you want to join me on August 27th for the Chakra of Balancing workshop. Details are in the description box below. So if there's a certain chakra that you want to get a reading on and you want to skip to that reading, you can go ahead and do so by clicking the link on the description box below. So we'll start off with the root chakra. A good balanced root chakra will make you feel comfortable, secure. It'll make you feel grounded. Sometimes when you have an imbalanced root chakra, you can experience issues with money and relationships. Also with feeling like you don't feel like yourself. There can be issues with maybe too much spending money or not enough spending money, maybe hoarding your money or hoarding your resources. It could also feel like not having enough family or friends or like people that, a community that you can really trust. It can be having too many family, too many friends that really don't serve a purpose and really aren't there to support you. Feeling imbalanced in certain areas, like feeling like the ground is insecure, feeling like your home life is insecure, feeling insecure, really feeling lonely, feeling like you don't have a network of people that you can rely on or people that you can feel safe to express yourself and connect, feeling safe that you can connect with other people. And we have 5 questions that we're asking the tarot for you. The first question or first card in the spread is, what is the root of the imbalance for the root chakra? The second question is, how does this imbalance present itself? The third question is, how can you bring your root chakra back into alignment? The fourth question in the spread is, what are signs that you're balancing your root chakra, or what signs will you see when you start balancing your root chakra, bringing it back into alignment? And then the last question is, what is the guidance from source? So each of these cards tells a story on its own, but together they have a full story. So I can see that I want to start with the guidance from source for this spread. So the guidance from source is really saying to not pay attention to other things outside of you and things that you can't control. Really pay attention to what your truth is. No matter what anybody else does, pay attention to your truth. Really be honest with yourself. Being honest with yourself is going to really help you come back into alignment for yourself. Really listening, honoring yourself, not stealing anything from yourself, not stealing anything from anybody else. Really not, really focusing on yourself. Sometimes we can feel unstable and insecure because of things that other people have done to us. Because the root cause of the imbalance is not believing in yourself and not knowing that you have all of the tools that you need inside of you to be able to overcome whatever it is that happens. It does feel like in the root chakra there has been some instability, and the way that it presents itself is by you protecting yourself. You're really protecting yourself, and you feel like you're on guard. You feel like you have to always take the higher ground because people have, done some shady stuff. Or treated you less than, and the way that it presents itself is that you're protecting yourself, you're overprotecting yourself, you're over guarding, and how can you bring it back into alignment? really taking those small steps and really reaching out to other people too. Really finding the connectivity and the community that can really celebrate you, that can really bring you back into harmony. When you've had to do things on your own, when you've had to protect yourself, when you've had to really dig down and, you know, feel like, you know, things are not going well, and feel like you have to protect yourself because other people come up against you, and other people really, you know, bring things to you, and you have to defend yourself. It can be really hard to open yourself up to community. It can be really hard to open yourself up to resources that are available to you outside of you. It's really difficult to do that if you've been taken advantage of, if you've been you know, told that, you know, that you're less than, or it feels like you've stolen something from yourself. This really feels like a source is really telling you not to give too much of yourself to others, and that can be difficult if you're trying to be a part of a community, right? If you're trying to find your network of friends, but at the same time, as you can see, like, you have to work on one thing first before you can give it to others. You have to really finish the project that you're working on. And I'm not talking about other people as projects. Source is not talking about other people as projects. They're talking about perfecting the project of you. And not really perfecting the project of you, but because that seems a little off. Perfecting, because you're already perfect as you are, but really just fine-tuning what you want, fine-tuning who you are, fine-tuning the things that make you stable and feel secure, the things that make you feel grounded, because the signs that you are on your way to healing and you're on your way to balancing the root chakra is watching the growth, watching those growth of the small steps that you've taken, watching the growth of these small things that you're doing to really ground yourself, to really be present, to really find a community, find your foundation, to really find your place, and not feeling like you have to defend yourself, not feeling like you have to worry about if somebody's going to take something from you. When people are dishonest, when people take things from you, that wasn't theirs to take, that you didn't give them permission to take, it's not your fault. Like, it really isn't your fault. I know sometimes people, especially people that believe in law of attraction, think, well, what did I do to attract this? What did I do to attract this kind of person into my life? But Source really wants you to know that just because somebody's being dishonest doesn't mean that you have to be dishonest with yourself. There's really a lot of truth that has to come out for you. Like, you have to find out what's true for you. You have to find out, again, those things that make you grounded, stable, and secure. What are those things? I really feel like there's a clarifier that needs to come from this guidance from Source. So I feel like I'm going to ask a clarifier to say, what else do we need to know about this guidance? They really want you to dig in and use your intuition, because using your intuition and really paying attention to those things that people are keeping from you, really paying attention to how you feel. Really paying attention to how you feel, really getting back into the body so you can get back to that intuitive part of you, because you do have all of the resources available to you. You do have the resources of your intuition, the resources of your desires, the resources of your stability and your thoughts and your analytical and logical self. You really have access to all of those things. But Source is really saying, really pay attention to your intuition, really pay attention to the things that make you feel whole, to the things that make you feel like home. What makes you feel like home? What makes you feel safe and comfortable? Really dig into those things and really find those things out for yourself. If you don't know what they are, if you don't know what makes you feel comfortable, if you don't know what makes you feel like yourself, really start looking and really start letting people know. The right people know. Really start letting the right people know. There's people who are willing to support you. If you're not able to find those people who are willing to support you in your current friend group, in your current work group, in your current family group, it's time to branch out. It really is time to branch out and trust other people and really plant the seeds so that you can sow and you can reap the rewards of being a grounded and stable and secure person, being somebody who's financially responsible, being somebody who's rooted in yourself and grounded in yourself, being somebody who feels safe and secure, and knowing that you're always safe and secure is part of it, but really following your intuition and not paying too much attention to the wrongs that have happened before in your life. All right, so now we're doing a reading for your sacral chakra. If there's imbalances in the sacral chakra, you may have a lack of desire, lack of motivation, a lack of drive, or there may be an overactiveness, too much desire, like you may be overworking, overstressing, over all the overs, like overdoing, or just an absence of things, so an absence of motivation, or just feeling a lack of motivation, feeling very tired and lethargic, and also it can be feeling a lack of desire, a lack of creativity, a lack of passion, or too much passion, too much creativity, you know, maybe working yourself to the bone, and, you know, being overactive to your detriment. So the 5 cards that we'll pull for the sacral chakra is, what is the root of the imbalance? How does it present itself? How can we bring it back into alignment? What are signs that you're healing or balancing the chakra? And what is the guidance from source? Alrighty. So I can really see how the imbalance of the sacral chakra has affected you if this is your reading. It did feel like things were on a shaky foundation to begin with, and something outside of you came to kind of knock everything over. And the way that it presents itself is this feeling like you've been taken advantage of, feeling like you're at the effect of the things that have happened to you to imbalance that sacral chakra. Because again, our sacral chakra is all about our desires and also processing feelings, because the element for that is water. I think that people miss that so much when they talk about the sacral chakra. They talk about motivation, but of course you're going to feel lack of motivation, lack of desire if it feels like you have to start from the ground up, if it feels like you know, things have been taken from you, if it feels like you know, somebody's come in the middle of the night and stolen what was really yours, and maybe this dream that you had, maybe this dream of being more motivated in certain areas of your life. And so maybe there was an over production that happened, and maybe there was also this part of you that felt like you had to keep things close to your heart. But the sign that you're balancing that is by keeping things close to your heart, is by, you know, balancing that that part of you that doesn't judge, because source really wants you to know that the way that you bring it back into alignment is to use discernment, and not judge others, but really using discernment. Discernment is different than judgment. When we judge, there is a part of us that, you know, is almost like, oh, but I'm better than that. But when we use discernment, that's different. Discernment is more checking in with yourself first and allowing others to be free and be who they are. Checking in with yourself first, really looking at what you need. And source is really saying that what you do need is some rest. You do need to keep your heart out in the open, but still, you know, nurturing yourself, not so much protecting, because you've done a lot of protecting of yourself. You've had to protect yourself. You've had to protect your feelings. You've really had to dig into that part of you that had to kind of almost become disembodied, almost become like put your desires to the side. Like you really felt like you put your desires to the side for a long time. And maybe you didn't think that that's what you were doing, but it really feels like you were using superficial methods to get to a place of feeling good. And superficial methods can be whatever. For some people, it's drugs, alcohol. For some people, it is overworking. For some people, it's avoidance. But it really feels like you've done things to take yourself into a different path of processing emotions, because not being able to hold on to them. And so I'm going to pull a clarifier here, because I'm really feeling like, I don't know why Source wants me to pull clarifiers recently, but they're asking me to pull a clarifier for a couple of these cards. Yep. Okay, so I'm seeing what's going on here. And the reason that I wanted to pull clarifiers is just because each of these cards tells a story on its own, but then together they tell a full story. And the full story for me feels like it needs to be a little bit more clear. And so when we're talking about signs that you're on your way to balancing that chakra, Source gave me the Four of Pentacles, which is like, you know, kind of keeping things close to you and not letting others see your progress, and really feeling like almost miserly about things, like really like holding on to your resources a little bit too much, a little bit more than what you needed to hold on to. But Source really wants you to know that if you can allow yourself to let some of the resources go. Here she's holding on to all four of those pentacles, really not doing anything with them. When you hold on to something, you're holding on to an energy, you're really not allowing it to expand. And with the Seven of Pentacles, what he's done is he has taken those pentacles that she had here and planted them into the ground, and really watching them grow, really harvesting that growth, and harvesting the growth, because you can't keep things to yourself and think that they're still going to grow. You can't keep parts of yourself to yourself and think that you're going to expand. It's not possible. It's not possible to experience more love and more joy and more abundance if you're just keeping it all to yourself. It's just really not possible. You have to share some of it. You have to share some of who you are in order to get more back from the universe, because what you put out is what you're going to get back. And sometimes we can feel like, yeah, but we've put stuff out there and it's been knocked down. I've put my feelings out there and people have taken advantage of them, or people have judged me. But Source really wants you to know that by keeping things closer to your heart, not expanding within yourself, you're really not going to see that growth. You really can't see that growth. And in regards to the guidance from Source, I did pull a clarifier for that as well. And the guidance from Source is to rest, but rest in a way that you can give yourself to other people, like give more of yourself, because the processing of emotions, the processing of the feelings really has to happen. It's a reciprocal energy, because just because you have these emotions and these feelings and you've experienced difficulties in the past, it doesn't mean that they have to stay inside your body. There are ways to move energy out of your body. There's so many ways to move energy out of your body. Simple ways to do that: taking a small walk, taking a long walk, journaling is a really way to get that out, taking a long drive, maybe a couple of hours outside of your city or town, really going to the beach or somewhere near the water, the lake, the forest, you know, an arboretum, going to the park, really experiencing nature, nature. If you can be close to a body of water, that's even better, especially with the Sacral Chakra. The Sacral Chakra really allows us to process feelings and emotions when we're closer to bodies of moving natural water. So a river, a creek, a lake, an ocean, a beach, you know, something like that. You know, really allowing yourself to be in nature. But also, like, I'm going to talk about it, breath work. Breath work is a really great way to get out emotions. It's really great to get into your body. Any type of breathing practice, but conscious connected breath work is one of the most powerful tools that I know of. Meditating is also a really great way to kind of be with and sit with your emotions. But Source really wants you to know that allowing yourself to rest allows you the opportunity to give more to others, and what you put out there is going to come back to you. So those are the ways that you can balance your sacral chakra. All right. Now moving on to the solar plexus chakra. So if your solar plexus chakra is imbalanced, you're going to have clear boundaries. You're going to have a clear sense of self. You're going to be able to kind of know what you want and be strong in the knowledge of what you want, but not just be strong in the knowledge, be strong in saying what you want and what you need, and being able to take action to the things that you want or need. And if you're imbalanced, then obviously you're not going to have a good sense of self. That can be a lot of codependency. Even if you do have a good, strong sense of self, you may be wanting to fix other people or fix other situations and things like that. So let's talk to Source and ask, what is the root cause of the imbalance in the sacral chakra? How does it present itself? How can you bring your solar plexus chakra into alignment? What are the signs that you are balancing or being balanced or in alignment with your solar plexus chakra? And, sacral. Yeah, solar plexus, sorry. And what is the guidance from Source about your solar plexus chakra? Okay, yeah. I can definitely see where this is going already. So Source really wants you to take those shadow parts of yourself and really transmute them into the fire, like really throw them into the fire. And I love this because the I keep mixing those up. The solar plexus chakra, the element for that is fire. And Source is really asking you to take your shadow self and transmute it and take that fire and put it inside of your hand. Look at that. That's such a beautiful card for the guidance from Source for this, because the root cause of the imbalance was feeling like your power was taken away and feeling like you were out in the cold, feeling like you didn't have anybody to turn to. You only had to rely on your resources and that nobody was there for you. But Source wants you to know that the way that it presents itself for you is this feeling of like showing up and telling everybody it's okay, this feeling of like, oh, nothing's wrong, this feeling of being a high functioning person, really a high functioning, even though you feel like, or part of you has felt that your power was taken from you. You didn't want to show that to anybody. So because you didn't want to show it to anybody, you did a lot more, and you did more than what you could do. But Source really wants you to know that healing is available to you, because the way that you bring it back into balance is by being in moderation, by really allowing yourself to alchemize the resources and tools that you have. Really alchemizing these two feelings, like these are very opposite. Like if you look at the cards, like they are so opposite. Here's somebody that's like down on themselves. Here's somebody that's celebrating themselves. And so it has presented in a way, maybe I'm getting a little bit of bipolar feelings here. Like maybe a lot of you know, what's it called? A lot of mania, and then maybe some depression, and then anxiety, and then depression. It's like peanut butter and jelly. It's like, you know, there's this feeling, but it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good when you're doing all the manic things, and it doesn't feel good when you're doing all the depressive things either. But Source really wants you to bring that back into moderation, really allow healing into your life. And how will you know? What are the signs that chakra is being balanced? Things are going to start moving for you. Things are going to start moving in the right direction. And even though things are going to be up in the air, it's not going to feel like it's too much to handle, because Source knows that it's not too much to handle. Source knows that you are a powerful being with so many gifts and so much love to share with the world. You have this fire that burns inside of you that needs to be shared with the world, and Source wants you to share that with the world. So that is the reading for the solar plexus chakra. So I hope these readings resonated for you. As always, please let me know how they resonated by leaving a comment, liking the video, or sending me an email. That's it for now. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.